Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome if you're new. I'm Stacy and today we are going to be painting a dragonfly on 140 pound cold press watercolor paper using my newly set up Daniel Smith watercolor palette. Look at this puppy. Gorgeous colors. This is what they look like swatched out. I got the pearl colors, the iridescent pearl. This is what they look like on their little card. Gorgeous. And I really wanted to just play around with my palette because I don't know what my Daniel Smith colors will and won't do. So yeah, let's do this. I'm going to throw my swatch up there so that I can see it. I have a little cheapy tray that I got on Amazon, a little 2-pack to hold things like that for me. Set that up there. And then we're just going to dive right in. I did a little pre-sketch. I'm not digging the tail, but erasers are always good for that, right? I'll just do that. And let's run it over and just kind of get rid of a lot of the heavy marks. There we go. Okay. Should we tape it down? I feel like we should. I feel like we should, because this is Artist Loft watercolor paper, and it's not terribly it's not like a high-end watercolor paper. It's gonna buckle and it's gonna move and shake and shimmy and do what it wants to do, so might as well tape it down to help prevent some of that, right? And this is just dollar store tape. I've tried all kinds of tapes and they all work pretty much the same. The Holbein soft tape is nice, but getting my paws on it is problematic, so yeah, I just use this or painter's tape. And the trick is not to use it on cellulose paper, because paint on cellulose paper is just not friendly. It's going to tear your paper. If you do use your tape on cellulose paper, use a heater or a heat tool or a hair dryer to warm the tape and peel it off a piece at a time, and it will loosen the glue so that it doesn't tear the paper as much, and do it at a 45-degree angle as much as you can, you know. I felt one of my hairs on here. I shed like a puppy dog. Not that you needed to know that, but there you go. Alright, so here's this. We are going to use, this is the Magello. Let's see, will it show you? Focus. There it is, Magello watercolor palette. Well, I picked up 2 of them. This one is for my Daniel Smith paints. They're very big, as you can see. Pretty beefy monsters. This is a 2-inch wash brush to help you with size. I guess I could get out a ruler, huh? They're pretty big. This is a 12-inch ruler, so a little over 12 inches, maybe 12 and a half by, you know, 12. A little under 12 this way. So fairly large. This pops out. I did not know that, but it does. It pops out. So you can spin it if you don't like it a certain way. There's a tray for mixing, so you have, you know, tons of mixing space. It's a gorgeous palette, beautifully made. It also seals. It's got a little gasket. This blue is a little rubber gasket, so it seals perfectly. I don't recommend sealing it unless your paint is pretty dry. I've put this together last night, and these are the Daniel Smith colors, and they're all pretty dry. You can kind of press them down a little bit. I'm not putting my finger in that one. That one's shiny. Yeah, the shiny ones are not fully dry yet, but it's been between 70 and 85 degrees in the apartment, and for the most part they're pretty dry. So what I would, this is my, Sennelier. Almost made a mess. This is the only non-Daniel Smith color. It is my Sennelier Indigo. And that is clearly not dry at all. Just the skin on the top is dry. So there's that information. If you're looking for the video for the setup of this palette, it is 2 hours long, but part of it is me just playing with color. Like a big part of the end of it is me playing with color. You can skip through to me the swatching, or you can skip through to me putting them in the palette, or whatever you want. I'm going to try. I haven't put it up yet. It's edited and rendering right now in Rush. So I'm waiting impatiently. All right, let's while I'm talking, I could be working. All right, so we're gonna spritz this paper, and I want to use for the background the Dragonfly is going to be mostly blues. So I thought for the background we could go with the this guy's not going to fit in my palettes, so I'm going to use my smaller round number 10 Velvetouch, Princeton Velvetouch. This one. And I'm gonna get in my, let's pull this over a little bit. I'm gonna get in my Rose of Ultramarine because it is just a super gorgeous, dreamy color, and I love it so much. And this is gonna beat up until I use it more and more, right? Kinda can't help that. Let's get some water on here to put our paint in. Isn't that pretty? Oh, it's so exciting. I'm gonna go ahead and really grab some serious color. Alright. Rose of Ultramarine is really a super dreamy color. Alright, let's see if that's enough. Let's grab our brush, really wet and super drippy. Drip some more paint water in here, and then, God, isn't that gorgeous? Can't even stand it. Alright, making a mess of my palette. Why? Because can. Alright. I'm not going to worry about my Dragonfly right now because all those blues that I'm going to use are going to be pretty prominent, hopefully. I do want to get this Rose of Ultramarine down though. And we might splash some other colors in it. Trying to get some pure color. Ooh, exciting! Oh, this color is wonderful, and I haven't played with it in a long time, but you can already see it separating pinks and purples. Very, very pretty color. If you want something fun to play with, this is the color for you. It is quite lovely. And it does show its color or its properties the most wet into wet, right? Put some. Get some. Dreamy. Dreamy. This up. You can see in the palette too. See the blue along that edge, that purple blue? Hold on if you can't. Hold on to your hands. See it? Magic. It is a magical color. That's right. Look at that. Gorgeous. All right, let's get rid of our wash brush. Grab our little brush. Grab some serious tint. Serious. Well, this is just a fun piece. Not getting too serious with our... See how I've got that dip right there? If you don't like that, or it becomes just so wet you know it's not going to dry, just take a paper towel or a dry paintbrush and gently just tap it in there and pick up the majority of your wet watercolor. I'm going to go ahead and blot some of my petals here, or my petals, my wings, the petals of dragonflies. I should have put this on a board so that I could tilt and tip it. Whoops. But that didn't happen. So and it can be darkened. Look at that. Create some dark spots while it's still wet. Which will contrast really nicely with our wings once we get in there and get that going. Alright. Just a teensy little spritz. Can you guys see the... I know my ring light is... I'm going to do something about that after I get my move done. I'm going to get some side lights instead of the above ring light. It is on the agenda. Should we put another color in, do you think? Maybe... we could throw in a touch of French ultramarine, kind of mix that around. Oh, look at that purple. Look at that, French ultramarine and rose of ultramarine. They're friends. They're the best of buds. They make a gorgeous purple. We could just, instead of painting it in, because we've got so much great stuff going on, we could just do a little on the top background splatter. I'm just gently, well, kind of aggressively tapping the top of the brush so that it goes downwards instead of up and then down. I'm working on splattering because I tend to make a huge mess when I splatter, and that's less than desirable sometimes. How's that? Yeah, I dig it. Alright, that's going to dry really pretty. And we definitely need to play with these more. I am in love so far. I knew I liked the Rose of Ultramarine because of its granulating properties. This is what it looks like on the swatch. It's just a dreamy color. These are fun as well. They're the duo colors. And then I got Potter's Pink because, and look, I already made a mess of my swatch. My beautiful swatch that I just made, I've already ruined it. I'm like, I can put other colors, right? Get other colors. I need to get some, you know what one of my friends does is they laminate theirs, but then I can't add my swatch if I laminate, you guys. I'll have to try not to splatter so much in the vicinity of that. Ah, so exciting. Right now we're watching paint dry. How do you feel? I do want to get in here with, I want to use some of this, how does that re-wet? this electric iridescent blue. And I haven't tried re-wetting these yet. Oh, that re-wets really nicely, doesn't it? I like you. Alright. And I would like some ultramarine on the palette. Right here. And then instead of going black, I'm gonna go with my Daniel Smith Indigo, not my Sennelier one, because that one's still pretty wet. We'll put that here. And Daniel Indigos read really black, and if you want them to read even more black, you just use them heavily. Or you can also mix in purples. I mix in usually neutral tints from Graham. Ooh, look at all that bold color. I don't normally do bold color, so that's a lot for me. I'm trying not to take away from it, because he's going to be pretty bold, right? But a purple in this usually, but I also have this gray right here, this graphite gray, which reads pretty black, but it's more of a graphite gray, like a true gray. And if I didn't want it to be, I could mix it with all of this stuff and make it a purpley graphite gray. Oh yeah, let's do that. I do love mud on a palette. Dreamy. Maybe we'll do that for our black. And with a big space like this and no differentiation as to where my colors go, for a piece like this, I'll just splash paint around and see what happens. Generally, like in my metal palettes, I have a certain spot for each mix. Like greens will be in one spot, and then, you know, grading down. And I feel like if I needed that, I would just move this over, and I would use this for yellows and greens in that kind of way. And this tray would be like blues, purples, that kind of thing. I hope that makes sense. Man, we are getting some beautiful color in here. Alright, let's go ahead and wet our wings again. Are they dry? Pretty dry. The wing area is pretty dry. It's also very bubbled up. So I'm going to go gently and just dampen my wing area. And then we may come in with some line art as well, because this is Fun Friday. Fun Friday videos get to be whatever I want them to be. Alright, I'm going to go in with the iridescent first, because it's the most fun, right? I really want to see how it plays on the page, what it looks like. Ooh, that is gorgeous. I dig it. Alright. Okay. That's the start of our iridescent color. Let's do the same thing on this side. And I didn't get it too wet, so it didn't puddle anywhere, and the paint's kind of staying where I want it to, which is fabulous. Oh, dreamy. Dreamy. Oh man, that looks awesome. Just light iridescence. I do want it to be even more pigmented up here though. Do some textures, right? Okay. And this guy, which I forgot to wet. Just go ahead and go in here. I lost some of my line, so I'm guessing. Hopefully it's mirrored all right. What do we think? Yeah, nice. Let's put in some ultramarine. Gently. Maybe not quite that strong. We'll mix it in with the iridescent so that it's blended a bit. Where it's layered, overlapping. Right there. Put that in the overlap area. Like that. See, my pink is bleeding in here. I'm going to leave that alone for now. We might fix it later. Let's just let it be for now. Don't want to get too carried away with putting paint on the paper, right? And that hasn't dried yet, but this is pretty dry. Let me grab a little more iridescent paint and really embolden this line up here. Okay. What else do we want to put in here? I'm feeling like I should put in another color, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Indigo mixed in with these. Let's see how that looks. Well, that kind of mutes it out, makes it nice. That's pretty. Okay. Do a little line right here. Let it bleed out. That's where our wings are overlapping. Alright. Now let's do a gentle glaze of our iridescent color. I feel like I should mix some white with it. Can I get the white to move? Not really. Alright, well, there we go, there's a little bit. Ooh, that's pretty. Alright, it's still a little wet right here. I'm gonna dab that. A little cauliflower going on, but that's okay. And we're gonna go ahead and draw in our dragonfly head. Okay. Should we go ahead? Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to go ahead and dab in our dragonfly body as well with a glaze of iridescent and pearl. I'm going to go like that. Sweet and simple. Just to sweep it out. Flatten your brush. Nice and flat like that. And then lift it up as you go out. And then you can elongate that or not as you want. Let's grab some pure iridescence and maybe drop it in here and there. Be mindful, watch it spread a little, watch it spread and see where it's going. Maybe put another dot here. Like that. And this is just having fun with the shape at this point. Decorative markings. If you want, you can look at a Dragonfly reference photo and see where the markings actually are and make it your own. I really like that. That's really pretty. I'm gonna work up some more of my iridescent white. Put it right here. It's kind of a blue-gray at this point, which is fine. I like that. I'm gonna do a little glaze here. A little glaze here. And I can see the shimmers working already, which is awesome. Little glazes like that, okay? Then I'm going to grab some more ultramarine blue and pop that in over here. Having some fun with markings. Go ahead and drop in some dark spots here and there. I think we're going to take a heat tool to this here pretty quick. What do you guys think? I dig it. I am digging it. I love how the colors move together. Look how those stayed right where they are. They only bled out just a tiny little bit and made these beautiful little soft edged marks. I hope that dries nicely. I really am digging that. Because I think once we're done, we may go over this with a little bit of line art. Should I blot this? I'm feeling a deep urge to blot this spot right here. I wanted this to be a fun, just a fun painting, nothing terribly serious. Go ahead and get in our little feet and then 10 times while we're waiting for things to dry a bit. Ultramarine and pop it in. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. Let's pull the camera this way a bit. There we go. That's a little better. I'm just making some decorative markings, dropping in some of that mixture of ultramarine and indigo on his little self. Make him look super cool and interesting, right? Yeah, like that, okay? This is the blue and indigo. Decided to drop it in on that. The little legs, they're making me... They feel a little too gray. I'm not digging the gray. And then this is the dark indigo and ultramarine mixture together. Thought it would give him some dimension. Kind of put it in right through here where the wings and the body are overlapping like that. Not fill it in, but definitely make some decorative marks. Definitely make this dragonfly your own. You don't have to adhere to any one way of doing things. You can be creative. Once you get your sketch down, you can go outside of that sketch as much as you want. I like the dark up here, but as we get down farther on the tail, I think we're just going to put in little dots. Like one on the end of his tail, down here. And then I think I'm going to put a dot behind each one of the larger light, like iridescent areas. Kind of like that, just for some prettiness, maybe. Alright, maybe we'll make it less dot work and more of an actual marking. Like a little wide out here, narrowing up on the body, and then a little wide out here. Like that. Oh, okay. You guys can't see that. I'm sorry. Sorry. That kind of mark. And then maybe drop in some dark color on it. Is that too much? It is. It is, and it's bleeding a lot, which I'm not a fan of. Alright, let's try again. That one's just going to bleed around. It's alright. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see what the whole thing looking like. Pretty neat, right? I feel like I want to get this indigo in here somewhere. Kind of dig that. doesn't have to be everywhere. It can just be indicated like that. Okay. I feel like I want to take the tip of the brush and connect this edge like that. Just one side. Good. Fun. It's super fun. Okay. Let's go ahead. What should we do next? I feel like I should put another color on him, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Maybe we'll just stick with the ultramarine indigo mixture. And a little bit of the iridescent in there, just so that it has a touch of shine and sparkle. And we can come down here and throw in some nice markings. And kind of go a lot going on right there. Oh, I did that. Okay. Nice. Very nice. I want there to be some broken spots where it's not completely outlined at all. I feel like that's more natural. I was going to get in here with some line art, but now I'm thinking I might not want to do that. What do you guys think? I do know that the proportions are off a little bit, but I'm going to leave that alone. This is the first Dragonfly I've done in forever. So I'm not going to be too nitpicky about that. This spot here that was bugging me. That. There we go. Cool. Alright, now I feel like maybe some directional splatter on the wings. Pick it up out there, grab some dark. I feel like I want it to be a little more dark than that. And then quickly blot the outside area. Yeah, like that. Let's do a little more of that. Over here, let's see, let's go this way so that it looks right. Now close directional splatter like this helps control where the splatter's going. Not completely, of course, but it does help. But as you can see, it does make a mess around your piece. If you're not digging that, just gently clean brush and gently skim over the top and blot it out. Super gently, because you don't want to pick up the color underneath. You're just gently skimming that upper layer and picking that splatter up that you don't care for. Gently give it a little scrub. It kind of does blend into the background a little bit too, which is nice. Good. Are we digging it? Okay. Good. I feel like I'm going to take the heat tool to it real quick, so that I can assess if I want to put line art on it or not. My cord got stuck in my chair. I'll edit this part out, you guys. Okay, it's super dry right now, and we are going to do line art. I was assessing as I was drawing. Man, I am a disaster. Pretend that's not there. I don't know what is happening with me lately, but every time I create art lately, my fingernails take a beating. Oh, it's from splattering paint. We're gonna go ahead and take the tape off real quick, and then we're gonna do some line art on top, just because I feel like it will do the piece justice. If I did not feel like it was gonna do the piece justice and improve upon it, I wouldn't bother. But I feel like, let's take our tape off and really assess. Now it's all dry. I'm gonna zoom out. There we go. And not a lot of line art, just a touch, just a bit here and there. I'm not gonna fully outline the piece, but there it is so far. I actually really like it. I like these deep darks on the edges because I don't normally do that kind of thing. And then the paper bowed a lot. What you can do is put it between a couple books, or actually you can iron it. If you put a piece of like protective something over the top of it, you can gently iron it on low heat if you want to. This is a Derwent Line Maker 0.05. I'm gonna go ahead and go in here and get in some like sketchy drawing marks, because I like that. It gives it that you sketched it before you painted it kind of look, which I feel like this piece needs. Now if you don't like that, you can totally stop at this point. If you're satisfied with what you've done and it feels right to you, then you can definitely stop. I'll go ahead and get in some shape marks, and let's go ahead and kind of let the pen drag on the paper and make marks outside of and inside of those wings. You don't want to outline the whole thing if you don't want to. You don't have to. I'm looking for a kind of busy, let's zoom in so you can see better what I'm doing here with my pen. I'm looking for that previously sketched, because I did sketch this out previously. And then just wiggly back and forth lines, because this particular Dragonfly breed has lots and lots of marks and lines in their wings, which is part of the reason why I splattered. Oh, sorry. You definitely don't have to put them all in, but you can make it look more drawn or more sketchy depending on what you like. See, and I like that look as opposed to this look. I feel like it's more interesting. And you can use a bolder pen too. I have a number 8 here, which is much more bold. This is the Copic. I have this size in many different markers, and you can go in here and throw in a couple super bold lines. Maybe don't outline the whole thing again, because that can be a little overpowering. Kind of just some idea lines thrown in. Maybe here where it overlaps. Put some more boldness in there. Okay, I'm getting carried away with this bold one, so I'm going to put it down and get back to this guy. Especially for all my little lines, my little sketch lines. I like those to be light and airy. Just go through and really make some fun marks. If you really wanted to, you could totally do a line sketch of a beautiful dragonfly and then drop paint on it and just give it that super like watercolor dreamy effect with a white background or even just a soft light background. That'd be super beautiful. And then maybe a couple little dots like that. And I wanted him to have little like segmented body, right? So when I'm sketching a dragonfly, I generally do scribbly circles for the body. Yeah, I kind of like that. I don't feel like it needs too much more. I feel like it has nice energy now. And then again, if you want, you can get it on the top with some, this is a watercolor pencil. Give that wing some additional texture. Maybe make it look a little heavier. Coming up from that body like that. This is just a cool gray. Castle Arts, I've been using this pencil for a lot. It's been, as you can see, used pretty well. Cool gray deep. And get in here and do some light shadowing. And this is a watercolor pencil, so if you're doing this with a watercolor pencil and you don't care for it, you can always wet it and pick it up. See, and it just adds a little extra something. And if you've got an area where it's too sparkly and you didn't really want it that sparkly, you can always put this over the top and it kind of softens out that sparkle. It makes it a little more subdued. Ooh! Startled me. I have to get that. I'll be right back. Okay, while I was gabbing on the phone, I got carried away and I touched the watercolor pencil with a little bit of water to just soften it out and give it a little less iridescence here and there. But once again, if that gets to be too much, you can always blot that up a bit. Yeah, I like that a little better. Alright, so I'm done with this piece. This is it. This is what it looks like. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like that busy background, if you'd like something more subdued, I kind of like the brightness of it. I tend to get carried away with my colors sometimes. And then here's all of our close-up scribbly line art over the top, some little colored pencil textures, and then the body. And that iridescence definitely shows through with just a touch of sparkle, right? Just a bit here and there, which is great. And I really love this Rose of Ultramarine splattered with the ultramarine blue background. I think that's very vibrant and pretty. Yeah, and I love the textures you can get with that Rose of Ultramarine. Sorry about my fingernails, got paint underneath it. Look at all those gorgeous textures. And think of all the fun you can have with how the variation of the colors that you get. It's just dreamy, right? I love it. All right, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.